this video, we're going to be taking a look at Senator Palpatine from the Phantom Menace line. So I'm a really big fan of this action figure. It's, as far as the likeness goes to Ian McDiarmid, I think it's pretty good. It's not quite there, as you can see with his older version of Palpatine here when he's Chancellor. This is probably a little bit more spot on, but this is still really good. And this action figure is actually an extremely unique one because I think it's the only one in the entirety of the Phantom Menace line that actually has an accessory that interacts with its stand. And that's with this, basically the video droid or the holo droid here, where you can plug it into the hole on the stand here. Now I could have swore during the Power of the Force days, the latter half of it, when some of those action figures had the Comtech technology. I think some of them may have had accessories that can interact with the stand. I could have swore there was something, but perhaps there's not. But I know, at least in the Phantom Menace line, I'm pretty sure this is the only action figure that has anything remotely like this. So I got this guy on eBay around 2020. Interesting story about that. So originally, I was in a bidding war with someone, and we ended up running the bid all the way up to $21 for this guy. You know, I was just looking at the prices on eBay yesterday, and someone was selling an entire lot of these Senator Palpatines for like $14 for like 8 of them. $21 for one, very expensive, and this was a loose one at that. So I decided, nah, I'm going to give it to the other guy. Whether or not he actually paid for it, I don't know, but we definitely overshot the target on that one. And then shortly after that bidding war, I ended up just doing a buy it now, I think for like $9 for this. Through someone else. So as you can see, like I said, I think the head sculpt's pretty good. It's not quite there, but at certain angles, it's like, yeah, that's a pretty convincing Palpatine. The best feature about this guy is his outfit. It's very opulent. It's very luxurious, very senatorial. It's a very nice blue deco, and the texture details on it are fantastic. The stars that he has on his tunic here, they almost feel, or they do feel kind of abrasive to touch. Just the sheer amount of detail on this is very impressive. And even with the pattern he has on his robes here, it feels, I wouldn't say abrasive, but it's definitely much different to feel. Sculpting work in his hands, so his left hand's in this pointing fashion here. Kind of like he's giving out orders or addressing someone or accusing someone. Like, no, I am the Senate, or no, you do this, or I do that, or no, you do that, or something like that. Then in his right hand here, he has this open palm, which can accommodate for something. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with any other accessories besides this one droid. But if they included like a data pad or something like that, I think that would have been nice. And his robes do have a little bit of a flex to them. As you can see, he has his black trousers. It looks like he has black boots on. So it's very nice. Even with plastic robes, it's flexible enough where it doesn't really hinder his mobility at all. And speaking of mobility, his articulation is very simple. He does have a swivel at the neck, swivel at the shoulders, and swivel hips. I don't think he has a swivel waist at all. But quite frankly, it's Senator Palpatine. I mean, how much articulation does he really need? A character like this, you're just going to have stand in the background or do in one pose, something like that. So I don't think it's a problem at all. Pretty much get him in most of the poses you're going to want him in anyway. In terms of his accessories, like I said, just the one droid here, which does unplug from the stand. We did get several of these type of droids in the Saga line a couple years later. I know Ornfrey Ta came with one. I do have several of these lying around, but they just the stand's a little bit different. Instead of it plugging into something like this, it's just one entirely straight stand with a small base at the bottom. And I think it's a slightly different retool or design of this droid. And it does unplug from the stand. And it's nice they have the stand going at an angle, so that way when Palpatine's actually standing on his stand, it's not butting up against him at all. There's enough distance between the two. And here's a stand here. Nice image of Senator Palpatine there. So interesting thing about this stand that I did not discover until very recently, despite having this action figure for several years. This is actually a Spanish-speaking one. I didn't realize Hasbro actually went out of their way to record these in different languages. And I guess it should have been a dead giveaway on the back here that Senator, and then Senator Palpatine. I'm guessing, yeah, one of those Spanish, and I'm guessing one of those French. Number 18. So let's see what he has to say here.
La República ya no es lo que era.
Yeah, he's basically saying the Republic is not what it once was.
El Senado está lleno de codiciosos delegados.
Yeah, he's basically saying that the senators or the Senate is filled with greedy, wobbling delegates.
Elegirán a un nuevo canciller.
Basically, he's saying is, you see, Your Majesty, I will be Chancellor. I do know a little bit of Spanish. I'm not fluent in it, but I think I know enough where I can get through a Spanish-speaking country all right. That's pretty cool. I wonder if they did any other languages. It'd be interesting hearing like a French one or a German one or maybe a Mandarin one. Who knows? There is a Chancellor Valorum action figure that kind of looks similar to this. It's very similar robes. I do not have that action figure at this time, but I do intend on getting him someday. It's not very expensive. It's just one of those action figures. It's like, yeah, I'll get to it whenever I do. I really like to start investing more into the Phantom Menace line. But that's pretty much all I can show you with Senator Palpatine here. So would I recommend him for your collection? I totally would, and if you want a Senator Palpatine of any kind, I think this is about your only option. Don't quote me on it, but I think there may have been another release that was very, very similar to this. I'm trying to think, maybe it came in like a multi-pack or something like that. But I'm pretty sure this is about the only Senator Palpatine in this particular tooling and this look and everything that you can get. So yeah, it's a highly recommended action figure, and I think it's definitely one of the highlights from the entirety of the Phantom Menace line. It's very nice, really like it, very opulent, and Hasbro did a fantastic job with it. Probably display them in my collection. That concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support. And check out some links in the description if you have not done so already. As always, thanks for watching.